Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Brittani Feinberg. She is a entrepreneur, dynamic entrepreneur dedicated to empowering individuals to lead healthier and more fulfilling lives. She specializes in guiding men and women through mindset coaching and fitness training, while also using her expertise in digital marketing to promote healthy living and advocate for whole food nutrition. Welcome to the show, Brittany.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. You are welcome to the show. So, my first question to you, Brittany, is to understand a bit more about you for the audience so that they know exactly who they are listening to, and then they take the best from you.
Okay. So just to give you some background from
Right.
Miami, Florida. I've been in the consulting and marketing world for about 10 years now. And I started leaning more into fitness and mindset training stuff after competing in a bodybuilding competition in 2018. And then dealing with some family health scares, I kind of went into the whole nutrition world and going through plant-based vegan and all that, learning more about nutrition and really tying that into with the fitness. And then aside from that, my main things what I specialize is like more in the funnel and marketing world, helping really individuals and entrepreneurs like bring their idea into reality, right? And taking that online by building an online business. But
Right.
I
Right.
focus predominantly online, but then it's also tying into the whole health and wellness aspect and the mindset, right? Because it all fits together. Because if your health is not good, if your mindset's not good, then your business most of the time is not going to be good. So it's just connecting all the dots and tying that all together.
Right, right, Brittany. So, in terms of mindset mastery, help us a bit to understand what is mindset mastery. Means you master your mind, or there are different segments to it, much more to understand from a common person's perspective, either in terms of their personal life or in business life, whatever they are doing.
Right. So for me, mindset mastery is, which I believe is like one of the hardest things to master, right? I think it's easy. You can master your body, you can go to the gym, you can eat right. But I think uh mindset is probably one of the most difficult and challenging things that we all deal with. That's something that I feel like on a everybody has in common, right? So for me, mastering your mindset is really being able to um listen to the negative self-talk and sit with it, right? Not just because when you block it out, it always comes back in to creep up, right? So it's being able to sit with it, acknowledge it, but then not let it control you and control your actions and your thoughts, right? It's like if a negative thought pops in, you'd be like, okay, this is happening now, but then what can I do to change my state or do something that makes you happy to then get rid of it, right? But I think the key is with mastering that is being able to sit with it and accept it, but then pushing it right along. Because a lot of people they try to block it out, right? And that just blows up in your face later on in the long run.
Right, right, Brittany. Now, I want to understand when you were doing something else in terms of dancing and all that work that you were doing earlier on. What was your mindset at that point in time? Did you visualize yourself doing the stuff that you are doing at the moment? I
No,
want to
so
understand the mindset
oh
in the terms of, so that people
yeah.
who are in difficult situations or not so good situations which are not up to their liking, or they want to grow in life, how can they see their future from the point they are, not looking it back from successful position, but from the position that that life throws them in. I want to understand that thing for the audience.
Okay, so yeah, so to go back to that, so I did enter the world of exotic dancing at the age of 17 years old. So I was very young. And had started college right away, and I fell into that whole scene of drugs and alcohol and late nights. But in order to get out of that, I knew deep down I didn't belong. I didn't have guidance at the time, but it was just a knowing that I had to get out of that lifestyle. And I knew I was smarter and better than that. And I always had this entrepreneurial drive and I always wanted to have my own business. So I just started reading books and seeking out mentors online and guidance. And I truly believe when you're on that path, when you're kind of like in the ditch and you don't know where to turn, I would, seek out mentors and coaches that are already in the position, like they're already there where you want your future self to be, and seek out help because you can't do it on your own.
Of course, it is very difficult, and it's a very proud thing if someone is able to, bring them out from whatever situation they are in and are able to do good things. And see, now today you are a health advocate also, apart from promoting digital marketing to promoting healthy living. So I want to understand that how did you come into the health advocacy part? Means what was your realization that okay, this is
So
what I need to do?
yeah, so my with the health, my ex-partner, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was stage 1, and she wanted to heal the natural route. She didn't want to go conventional Western medicine. So I went on that journey with her for a few years, and we discovered, it, a lot of the times you can heal the body yourself, right? And a lot of it starts. The first thing is mindset, and then it's also what you're putting into your body. And a lot of the stuff that we put into our body is processed and has pesticides. It has a lot of just horrible, horrible things, right? So that is when I really started taking my health seriously, and I learned a lot with her through that journey. And then we started helping others as well who wanted to learn more about holistic healing, and she was able to overcome that and heal herself, and she's doing really good today. Um, but that's what kind of led me on that journey in the health and wellness to start.
Right. Now let me come to your clients. What is it that your clients come to you for? What are the questions that they generally ask you? And how do you actually get down to helping them? I want this so that it gives understanding from the ground itself how the work goes.
So I have a few clients now. They come to me. Usually, they're dealing with some type of disease or illness or autoimmune issue, and I help guide them depending on whatever path they choose. I'm here to help support and help them find solutions because it can be very frustrating sometimes when you go to 100 doctors and you can't find an answer. You don't know what's wrong with you, right? So I have like my own system where that's part of the mindset, and then I also do the nutrition part depending on what your needs and desires and wants are, and then the fitness aspect as well, because I believe, even if you don't have to live in the gym, but I believe in weight training, any physical activity is always going to be good for your mind and your body. And then most of them have businesses, so I help them take their idea or right now I've been working with a lot of authors, so I help them become a bestseller, and then I help them really position their book as an offer so that they're creating their own community and their own coaching program based around their book, right? So the book is just used as a positioning tool, and then I go and I create this whole offer and community and membership and course around that. So and then they get speaking engagements and stuff like that. So that's really been my niche in the last couple of years, is just specializing and working with authors. But it's the whole package. It's not just the business, it's the health, the wellness, the fitness, and then the business, because it all, like I mentioned before, I feel like it all ties together. um and it's hard to be at your peak performance with your business when you're not taking care of your health.
Right, right. So more towards the marketing side, if I understand. So in terms of marketing, so many things keep on changing so fast. How do you keep yourself so updated on the marketing side to be able to serve your clients, especially authors? How does that work?
So I do research on a daily basis, and I'm constantly making sure like I'm up to par with, like, let's say Facebook ads, any of the softwares that I use, all the systems like lead generation, sales funnels, stuff like that. I make sure that I'm up to date with everything. And I also do have a team that I work with as well.
Right. So how do you get prepared for this whole digital change. Now with artificial intelligence coming in, authors are, there are several type of authors. One is the one who are actually writing a book in that serious sense, and the other authors are, again, there are so many who are looking at, artificial intelligence helping them write their book. And the one another aspect is that they are fully writing their book through artificial intelligence, and then they want it to get published, and they can do it self-publishing, but then there are what all different rules in terms of, even Amazon does not want them to put out so many of those books, which earlier on people were doing. So how do you work on that? I also do a lot of author interviews. I can understand it can be very demanding at the same time. So how do you do this marketing for authors, especially in times like this?
So we do use Amazon, because Amazon is like the brand authority, because we have a system where you get bestseller #1 on Amazon. But when in terms of like marketing and driving sales and traffic, we use funnels for that, because also with Amazon, you don't own the data, right? So let's say you go to Amazon, you buy my book. I don't know you purchased my book. Amazon retains that customer information. So I'm really, really big on creating your own offer, your own funnel, and that's where we drive traffic. But you still, keeping Amazon is important. And the whole thing with AI is that's only going to keep growing. And I use AI myself, but the one thing AI will never be able to replace is the human connection and conversation. So AI is a great tool to use, but I don't think it should write an entire book for you. It could help you enhance your words and your story, but I believe when you speak from your heart, that's that's what's relatable, and that's the human connection. So AI is amazing and it's great and we all use it, but it'll never be able to replace that. Like this conversation that we're having right now, right? It's not the same if I'm speaking to ChatGPT. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Now that you have seen a bit of life, Brittany, how do you see life in itself? Means how do you tell what a fulfilling life is all about, and then you tell it to others? How do you define a fulfilling life that you tell to your clients who may be very ambitious, who may be looking at life very differently? Do they agree with you? Do they don't agree with you? I want to understand your mind on this sort of mindset.
oh, yeah, so I mean, most of them do agree with me. I have great clients. I'm very blessed. I attract amazing clients that actually listen to me for the most part. And for me, a fulfilling life and that mindset is just living your truth, whatever that is to you. I feel like a lot of us are living a lie to make others happy, and eventually that catches up, and then one thing you can't ever get back is time. That's the one thing money can never buy, right? So I think, yeah, for me, living a fulfilling life is just living your truth on a daily basis, and that in itself can be challenging. But if you practice certain principles every day, like your consistency, discipline, and you keeping your word to yourself, I believe is one of the biggest things. And I mean, I've struggled with that myself in the past, but when you keep your word to yourself, like, and you put yourself first before others, to me, that's fulfilling. And also living your truth, whatever that might be to you.
Absolutely. One more question I wanted to understand is, if you look at the earlier part of your life to this point, sometimes when you are very young, anyone, we look at life differently, and life takes you the way it wants to. Either it's for you, it's for me. And then there comes a time when you are a bit more, stable in your career, stable on your feet, and then you can decide on things much more concretely. How do you now look at yourself from here on towards the future? Is it much more concrete way, or is it like let life decide it for you?
Well, I believe in letting life decide, but you have control over, you can control what you do on a daily basis, your daily actions. So looking back now, I definitely have a clear path as to where I want to go and what actions I know I need to take. Now, as we know, nothing ever goes as planned. So if there's a few detours and speed bumps along the way, that's okay. You kind of just have to learn how to go with it. I believe everything happens for a reason. Even sometimes if it's something unexpected, I know that there's a greater reason behind that. So sometimes we have to learn how to accept in that sense. But yeah, definitely now compared to where I was a few years ago, there's a clear path and definitely know where I want to go. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is so much to learn from you, Brittany. I'm sure
Thank
a lot
you.
of people do learn from you, want to learn more from you, about you, and also want to be your client because you have seen life from close. And a lot of people also want to have that wisdom for themselves. So, for those people, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
So right now I'm restructuring everything, but right now they can go to justbath.com and sign up and I'll be able to reach out to them. So it's just JUST, B as in boy, A, F as in Frank, justbath.com. And they can sign up and I'll be able to reach out to them later on because I'm revamping everything right now. So yeah, that's going to be the main website for everything, all my products and services and everything that we're working on. We're also launching our own software pretty soon as well. So everything will be there.
Absolutely, absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.